What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hotline Broadcasting coming back to you guys again here today at New Hampshire. Truex just picked up his win at Chicagoland. And we are going to New Hampshire. This is an interesting track. Truex and Larson now have 5 poles. Truex gets another one. It's his 6th pole of the season. It's at least 2 in a row. Hamlin, virtually a non-factor, and Larson is weird. Especially Hamlin. He qualified 8th and didn't run well. Looks like he's going to be a factor here in New Hampshire. I was weird not seeing him lead laps and kind of dominate like he has this year. It looks like he's back in full force this week. Coming off of 4, it's a 60-lapper. Green flag. We saw our first, well, it wasn't the first last lap pass this season. It was only the second or third, but Truex got Elliott and Buescher. He passed them both in the final corner, turns 3 and 4 at Chicagoland last week and picked up his 3rd win of the year. Now he's going to try to be the first to get 4 wins this year, coming on hot as we have 8 races until the playoffs. They are racing back here. Elliott running about 10th. Logano almost into the back of him there. Yeah, they're racing pretty hard back here. Buescher, great showing. That's going to help him in the points a lot, what he did last week. Oh, the 12 into the 48. We saw those two get into it last week. Again, those two about wrecking each other right there. We're going to have to watch this. You saw those two get into it last week at Chicagoland, taking each other out very early. Ultimately, didn't end either of their days, but sure made both their days not well. Now the 22 with damage into the back of Byron. He almost got into the back of Elliott. He's got damage from that. He's got some front end damage from running in the back of Byron right there. See if it slows him down any. Bowman now on Byron. Blaney and Busch coming. Busch, a great run. Well, had a great run going last week. I think he had a decent finish. He's around 10th to 15th. All these guys. Buescher, Elliott, Logano, Byron, Bowman, Blaney, and Kyle Busch. I want to watch Blaney and Bowman for a little bit. 3 wide off the corner. Blaney and Bowman side by side here. Nothing much going on there. Go through the field. Gibbs and Suarez, bad races last week. Both them have been spiraling downwards. Now they're around 20th. It's been not a good last couple weeks for them, as it really looked like they were guaranteed spots in the playoffs. They're still in a good position, but it's nothing guaranteed at this point, I would say. If they were still plus 70, plus 80, with 8 races left, I'd say they're still not locks, but they're in a very good spot. And now it's probably going to be plus 30, plus 40, maybe less. They're lucky Buescher didn't win last week, or that would have been bad for both of them, along with Kevin Harvick and anyone else around where they are in points, which is like 13th, 12th, 13th, 14th. Truex, Hamlin, and Chastain. We saw Hamlin and Chastain dominate a few races together this season. Looks like they're going to be quick again today. Truex has been coming on strong, though, is looking for his 4th win of the year now. Winning last week with a last lap pass on the 9. Who's that back here? Tyler Reddick trying to keep up with those guys. Struggling. Didn't really talk about him at all last week. Got into a wreck, and last week was mayhem. Chicagoland was mayhem. I've seen a couple races like that. Just complete mayhem. That one was one of them. It's nice to have some mayhem races every once in a while. Pace car taking a bunch of cars out. I didn't like that, but Bubba running inside the top 10. It's a good day for him. He's had a few runs like that this year. Keselowski, I had to say, he's coming on strong. He's had a lot of top 10 runs recently. Even though he's like 17th in points, he's in with a win, though. Bell got red hot for a while. And now he's slowed down the last 2 or 3 weeks. 7th, 8th, 10th, 9th, 10th, somewhere in that area is where he's been. 8th right now. Buescher and Elliott been consistent. Elliott's been. Buescher doing everything he can right now to try and get back into the playoff picture. Logano looks like that damage on his nose isn't hurting him too much when he ran into the 24. Byron Busch looking like his first 10 races this year, running 10th to 15th. That's where he was in points for like the first 10 races this year. Came on hot, won twice, all the way to 5th in points. Now he's running 14th. Kyle Busch running 15th after a good week last week. Harvick almost won last week, running 16th. There's Gibbs, 17th. Suarez, 18th. McDowell, we've seen him run top like 19th, 20th a lot this year. He just seems to get involved in wrecks. He's been coming to the standings nicely, though. There's Dillon. Jones still top 20 in points. Same with Allmendinger. Haley has emerged as the second most DNFs. Right there in front of him, Briscoe, the most DNFs. Briscoe has DNF'd 8 times of the first 18 races this year. Haley, 5 times, which is the second most. So Briscoe's out there pretty far, but Haley, the only one with 5. There's a bunch with 4 and less, but Priest is, I feel like, got to be high on that list. Cindric, you just don't expect him to run 27th, man. This has just not been Cindric's year at all. I really, really hope he turns it around next year, man. And I hope Stewart-Haas starts getting their act together. I mean, 3 cars outside the top 25, while Harvick's just carrying, just trying to make the playoffs in his final year. They could really go bad next year with Barry. Not saying Barry's a bad driver, but losing that veteran in Harvick, if Barry falls at all, you know, Harvick's the only one keeping Stewart-Haas relevant. And if Barry can't keep up that top 10 performance, you know, making the playoffs, and I'm not talking about 16th, 15th in points. Harvick's been around 10th most of this season, which is pretty good when his teammates are all outside the top 25 every week. It's been a good year for LaJoie, though. LaJoie is still, I think, top 23, 24 in points, running 30th here. Massive hit, not for him, but for Ty Dillon last week. Him and Ty Dillon wrecked. They were both inside the top 10 last week. Last week was mayhem, and they wrecked each other. So Spire not happy about that. Sat both of them down during the week, talked about it. Spire super unhappy. Both their cars running inside the top 10 took each other out. And then back here, you see Ty Dillon, 33rd, which is where he's at in points. Gragson had a good week last week. It's been announced he won't be in that car next season. Truex leads. Chastain has taken second. Hamlin and Reddick has caught those guys. Truex coming on hot at the right time. You got to give him that. But can Chastain pick up maybe his 3rd win of the year? Chastain's been good this year. Still looking for... He's got 2 wins right now. Trying to get a 3rd. Truex actually kind of driving away. This has been known in real life to be one of his strong suits, one of his better tracks. Dominated that race in real life this year. He's been good today. Putting a decent gap over second, third, fourth. If we go to spectator mode, you guys can see Larson's catching these guys. I mean, he's caught this group, so he's still doing well. Running fifth right now. They've driven off from sixth on, though. Kozlowski in sixth. Very good run for him so far. Wallace still seventh and Bell eighth. Wallace and Bell have caught the six. Bush and Elliott has caught them two. So there's five now. That's 6th through 10th. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Then back here, Blaney, Logano, the teammates, and then Bowman, Byron, and Kyle Busch. And then they've driven off from Harvick, who's by himself. I mean, Gibbs and Suarez are there, but those three are kind of lacking off everyone else a little bit. Then McDowell, and then it gets tighter again. Some of these guys here. But, I mean, it's gotten pretty spread apart all the way through the field, actually. Cindric up to 26th. I'm not sure. Maybe Gilliland or somebody. I'm not sure who he got by, but Priest and Almirola all on Gilliland. Gilliland started off the year pretty strong. Spent the first 6-7 races around 20th through 25th in points. He's fallen off, though, closer to 30th now. Be interesting to see if he's in that car next year or not. It's not been notified, as Harrison Burton really struggling in this 21. They hope to have that car relevant next season. It's not been relevant for a while now. I leaked it a few weeks ago about which driver might be. I didn't say who, but I gave you guys some stats. I'll do it again. A current Truck Series driver that has driven that car before could potentially be driving that car next season. It's not anything determined yet, but we'll see if it happens. That driver has announced he's not going to be racing Truck Series anymore. We'll see if he gets that nod to come back to Cup, if they bring him back into that car, if that car will gain any performance at all. We'll see. Harrison Burton, he's just not done it in that car. Hamlin's sliding around back there in third. I can tell you what, Cole Custer probably hopes to not make any pit stops today. I don't know what it was. Last week was, 54 laps of Chicago, so it was maybe 20, 25 laps into the race. He got damaged. He was in a wreck. And just went every other lap. He was going down pit road. He pitted like 10 times. He was like 14 laps down. So he's probably tired of pitting. Oh, no. That pit crew better be pretty good. They got more pit stops last week than these teams have in probably the last 3 months. The rest of them. The one is all over Truex. He's closed that gap, and Truex makes a mistake. The one's going to be there. Almost into the back of Truex right there. I believe the one's a little faster than Truex is right now. halfway through this race. As you can see, the gap is that. There's a big group of cars that have caught this group back here. So let's go to the 23 of Wallace. Well, Bell leads it. So you got, ooh, is there contact back here? Blaney sent it in, and I thought he was going to spin the 9. I'm going to go back and watch that a couple times now. I didn't know Blaney was mad at Bowman last week, but he got into Bowman on like lap 1 or 2. Right here, he sent it in. No, he didn't. He maybe tapped him a little bit, but nothing crazy. It looked a lot worse. It was a heck of a dive bomb, but Blaney's been moving up. He's at the 10th now after a bad week last week. Bowman, him, got into it. But yeah, this group back here. Bell, Keselowski, Wallace, Buescher, Blaney, Elliott, Logano, Bowman, Byron, and Busch. All relatively close together. A lot of points for these guys. Yeah, you got 5th all the way to 15th. So top 5 are gone though. Top 4, they're gone. Yeah, I'd say that damage is not hurting the 22 any. He looks fine to me. Might come as a surprise. He has 1 win this year, which is not really a surprise. And it's not really a surprise either. It came at Talladega, but it's just so fitting. Logano's 1 win this season came at Talladega. So fitting. We know how good those Penske cars have always been at super speedways. Alright, so it looks like these top 3, maybe 4, driving off. Larson's fallen off a little bit in 5th, as Hamlin's caught the 1. These 3 are together. Reddick hanging back there, and then Larson's fallen off of him quite a bit. So it would have been 6th on, not 5th on. 6th on was back there. Larson in 5th, Reddick 4th, these 3. Hamlin, Chastain, and Truex. Ross looking for the lead. Underneath the 19. We have not seen a pass for the lead yet. He's going to do it. Contact. He ran Truex up. But he got the lead. Now his good buddy Denny Hamlin to 2nd. Truex falling back now. Reddick looking to get by Truex. This has kind of been how Truex has been all year. He'll lead a bunch of laps early. Yeah, 5, 6 poles now. He'll lead a bunch of laps early. Then he'll just fall off. Midway through the race, 38 to 60 right now. He'll fall back to 4th, 5th, and then sometimes he'll get in a wreck. Sometimes you won't, and that's where he'll finish. But 3rd right now, the 1 and the 11, 1st and 2nd. Hamlin 2 wins this year, looking for his 3rd. Same with Ross. Truex and Larson, the only guys with 3 wins this year, looking for their 4th. And Reddick has a win at Daytona, looking for, not the 500, the other Daytona race. Did that 2 weeks ago. And Reddick looking for his 2nd win of the year. Coming to 20 to go. Sorry, I'm doing it. Alright, good time to come back. Lap traffic to 78 at McLeod. This is going to change And the 51 at Custer. So this is going to change some things. Ross and Denny getting through it, no problem. Truex has one more car. Reddick and Larson getting held back by Custer a little bit. Truex actually to the outside of the 11, but going into this corner is going to kill him. Well, the 78 kind of blocked both of them off. Reddick and Larson going to get there now as they got by the 51. And Hamlin going to hang on to second as the one car taking this opportunity to drive away a little bit. 14 to go. This is a nice gap to have with 14 to go for Ross Chastain. Let's look at where everyone's running now. So Bell, Keselowski, Wallace, Buescher, Blaney, Elliott, Logano, Byron, Bowman. Busch, they're under a blanket there. And then these three, Harvick, Gibbs, and Suarez together. McDowell all by himself. 5 seconds forward, 4 seconds back. Then Stenhouse, Dillon, Allmendinger, Briscoe, Jones. Pretty much everyone else relatively close. There's a second and a half between Cindric and Gillen. But other than that, these guys are relatively close. 2 cars a lap down. Ty Dillon, Noah Gragson, and Greg Alding. And Harrison Burton. See, for Burton to be as slow as them, that's not good. But 4 more lap cars up in front of these guys. All of them going to get by Ty Dillon, no problem. The one car having some issues here with these guys in front of him, though, has brought the 11 to his bumper. Is he going to look to the outside of Noah Gragson? I hope not. Give the spot to Hamlin then. All right, getting aggressive, looking underneath the 42. 42 being defensive. Believe the one, he's not going to get position here. Now maybe he will. All right, so all these 4 guys are under a blanket. Now Hamlin checks up for the 1. He's going to lose the spot to Truex. And potentially Reddick. Hamlin's been on downfall last few weeks. Led a lot less laps. It's been nice to see some guys lead laps that not Hamlin, not Larson. They dominated the first 10, 13 races this year, I'd say. Now, they weren't winning a whole lot. Nobody was. Nobody had more than 2 wins for the longest time. And now only Larson and Truex have 3. So we're still kind of in that same boat. But you look at the laps led, hundreds more than everyone else. Contact. The 11 get in the back of the 45. He does own that car. No, it looks like the 45 just missed it. The 1 coming to 6 to go, coming to 7 to go. And he's got a nice lead. And he's passed all the lap traffic. I don't think he'll have to deal with another one for the rest of this race. No, definitely not. No, half a straightaway between him and the next guy. So this is the gap between Chastain and Truex. It's going to be between them because Hamlin, Larson, and Reddick, they are struggling to get by Burton and Greg Alding. So now this is going to be the gap we're going to have to contend with. 7, 8, 5, the tenths. Coming to 5 to go. We've seen these 2 race it out at Dover. Truex got the better of Chastain. Those 2 dominated that race. Seen it a couple times this year. It always seems to be Chastain versus Hamlin or Chastain versus Truex. Whole 10th out of the gap that time, but 5 to go, 6 tenths to gain. And he's got to make that pass, and there will be no lap traffic making a difference this time. Hamlin, Reddick, and Larson, they have fallen 1.7, 2.4, and 2.8 back. They won't be a factor here. Truex a little faster in the 1 right now. Coming to 4 to go. I don't know if he's going to get there. He's going to need 2/10 and then a 10th every lap. And he's going to need some time to get by him. Only 300ths that time. Still 6/10 the gap. With 4 to go, I don't think he's going to get there. He's going to have to gain significant time. Send it in really hard into one of the corners and hope it sticks. That was a pretty good corner there by the 19. I don't think he quite had the momentum off the 1 did. Still not in the same picture frame on corner exit. What happened? Did Truex wreck? No caution. Did he pit? Are you serious? He's going down pit road. I hope these guys don't have to pit. Wow. And here comes the 1, and here comes everybody else. This throws a major wrench into things. Coming to 2 to go. Oh my gosh. Anybody could win this thing. I think Byron and Elliott just stayed out. Are they going to pit coming to the white flag? We saw it happen. We saw Christopher Bell pit come into the white flag. Or come into the checkered. No, he can't come to the white flag. He pitted. Keselowski was on his tail. They were going to race for the win. But Keselowski won it because Bell pitted. Coming to the white. And here comes Elliott to pit road and Byron. Did anyone else stay out? You have to watch the 1 and watch the 19. Where's the 19 at? Byron's leading. And now he's down pit road. Is that coming to the checkered? Caution's out. What the heck is happening? Is this going to count as a race finishing under caution? I kind of think it's over. Elliott second. Byron leading. We got a wreck. Byron's around with damage. Elliott. This one has turned to mayhem. Busch is around. Did they already take the checkered? Yeah, they did. Byron won. Elliott another second place. What? Allmendinger going to get 5th? Or no, now Elliott's dropping. Now Byron's dropping. Now the 1's in the lead. So now Ross Chastain won? I don't even care what the caution is, to be honest with you. It looks like Jones was in it. But it says it's over. Chastain won. And Byron and Elliott are going to finish 18th and 19th. And here I thought they won. How did they wreck coming out of pit road? How did that happen? Did their cars just explode? That's what it looked like. Or did the pace car take them out? They both hit the inside fence coming out of pit road. Both of them did it. And it took both of them out. Otherwise, Byron would have his 3rd win of the year. But no, the 1 car does. And I don't even know what to say. 2 to go. And this race was as normal as could be. I'm in shock. What a finish. What a finish. We'll see you guys at Pocono. And maybe we'll have some normalcy. Look at the laps led here. It's been Hamlin and Larson, but Truex has joined them. Alright, so Hamlin's out there pretty far. Larson's close with these guys. So these 4 are kind of close. These 5. Truex, Larson, Byron, Chastain, and Bell. They're pretty close, and then everyone else has led significantly less laps. Still, 20 guys has led laps this year. That's it. Six poles, 5 poles, and 2 for everyone else. 1 or 0. What an insane finish. After 19 races, there's still 7 to go before the playoffs. Peace out, guys. That was a crazy one. That is all I'm going to say. Crazy. Crazy.